Welcome to Fiji. With 87-degree crystal clear water, kind and welcoming people, some of the most abundant marine life on this planet, and a plethora of waterfalls and natural adventure parks, Fiji truly is incredible. Come with us to experience paradise and see how to travel this spectacular country.
Our journey to Fiji began in Los Angeles International Airport. We flew from LAX to Nadi with Fiji Airways on one of their brand new A350s, which was an absolute treat. We
made it to Fiji. Awesome flight, really enjoyed it. Super nice airplane.
Yeah, great service.
Awesome.
Nadi, Fiji is home to Fiji's main international airport and likely where you will fly into when visiting. Nadi is located on Viti Levu, which is Fiji's largest island and home to the country's capital city, Suva. We would recommend spending some time on Viti Levu to experience all that it has to offer before whisking off to Fiji's many other island groups. To get around the island, we would recommend either renting a car or taking advantage of Fiji's taxi system. We opted to rent a van given that we had 6 members of our group.
Our first stop after arriving in Fiji at 5:50 a.m. was the iconic Nadi Market. This market was a great way to be introduced to the kind and welcoming culture of Fiji. With great prices and fresh locally grown produce, we would recommend stocking up here with fresh fruit that can be your breakfast over the next few days. As we walked through the streets, we were greeted with so many smiling faces, warm bulas, and lots of fresh fruit. Should be all set for breakfast. This place is awesome. It's huge, and there's so much fun local produce, if you can see.
Our next stop after the morning market was the Garden of the Sleeping Giant. This garden sits at the base of the Sleeping Giant Mountain, which gets its name from its distinct outline of a person laying down sleeping. This garden is home to more than 2,000 different types of orchids, which are absolutely breathtaking, along with a variety of greenery in a mostly shaded area. After the garden, you can look forward to some absolutely delicious tropical juice prepared by the local Fijians.
Drink is amazing.
They gave us some Fijian.
This is my 4th one, so if that says anything about it.
After 4 glasses of tropical juice and some awesome conversation with the local Fijians, we were ready for the next part of our adventure.
After the garden, we drove just 5 minutes down the road to the Sebecho Hot Springs, where we took place in a local Fijian mud bath and hot spring. This was both a unique and fun experience, even on a hot day.
After the mud bath, we came back into town and stopped at Kanu for an early dinner. Kanu is a contemporary dining experience which uses native ingredients and sustainably sourced produce. The menu changes depending on the season and is a blend of cooking techniques from throughout all of Fiji. It combines traditional Fijian dishes and ingredients with modern techniques and influences throughout the Pacific.
We're at Kanu. This is the Cajun fish and chips. Everything so far has been so good. This place is really cute.
Kanu was probably our favorite meal in all of Fiji, and so we would highly recommend carving out some time to enjoy dinner here. Both the service and food were fantastic. After Kanu, we headed to our resort to hit the hay early after a perfect first day in Fiji. Rachel and I both agree that Nadi surpassed our expectations and was somewhere we thoroughly enjoyed. The close proximity to the airport makes it a great first day of activities after arriving.
On our second day in Viti Levu, we set out to see what we were told was one of the best waterfalls on the island, the Biasivu Waterfall. The Biasivu Waterfall is a 2-hour drive from Nandi over a picturesque drive along the Coral Coast. The waterfall is a quick 20-minute walk from the base of the village along a mostly paved trail. Horses are available to ride if you would prefer for an additional cost. It is worth noting that there is an entry fee of 25 Fijian dollars, which the local village collects to give you access to their maintained trail and a guide which will show you the waterfall. We enjoyed a truly beautiful waterfall along with some of the awesome cliff jumping showed to us by our local guide. It was a perfect way to spend our morning. After a fun morning at the Biasivu Waterfall, we drove an hour and 20 minutes to what many would consider the most beautiful beach on Viti Levu, Natadola Beach. Natadola is a gorgeous white sand beach with beautiful cliffs and crystal clear water. While there, you can pay to ride horses on the beach, get a local Fijian massage, or just enjoy coconut water relaxing in the sun.
After relaxing for a bit and looking at the awesome starfish all along the coast, we walked across the sandbar to do some snorkeling. Just a few minutes swim off the coast, there is a pretty big coral reef with some awesome snorkeling. While the visibility is hit or miss depending on the tide, it is certainly something we would recommend doing if you are spending an afternoon at Natadola Beach. After our relaxing afternoon at Natadola Beach, we headed back to our hotel for an early night in, excited for our next full-day adventure exploring the Mamanuca Islands.
We woke up bright and early the next day for our full-day boat tour to the Mamanuca Islands. We were told before coming to Fiji that the Mamanuca Islands were home to some of Fiji's best snorkeling. Excited to see for ourselves, we booked a tour with South Sea Sailing to the Malolo Sandbar with a stop for snorkeling at the Sunflower Reef. Most tours to the Mamanucas leave out of Port Denarau and offer hotel pickup and drop-off, which is particularly nice if you don't have a rental car. Depending on what season you go, there are lots of different boat tours to the Mamanuca Islands. Really, you can't go wrong. The 87-degree crystal clear blue water and fun-loving Fijian hospitality is bound to be an incredible experience no matter who you go with. We enjoyed an amazing day filled with local Fijian music, dancing, and some of the best snorkeling we did in all of Fiji.
After our incredible boat tour, we docked back at Port Denarau at around 5 p.m. just in time for dinner. We were told by many that the best Indian food in all of Nandi was located at a restaurant called Indigo. The food at Indigo was absolutely delicious. We enjoyed it while watching the sunset, which was the perfect end to our amazing day. For our final day on Viti Levu, we set out to experience some of the country's most famous scuba diving at the Banga Lagoon. While many people stay on Banga Island and do entire dive trips to the various coral reefs in the lagoon, we opted to take a half-day scuba trip from Pacific Harbor, which is conveniently located on the main island of Viti Levu. Pacific Harbor is a charming beach town located on the famous Coral Coast. It is a beautiful 2-hour and 45-minute drive along the Coral Coast from the city of Nandi. We arrived around 9 a.m. excited for our first ever scuba diving experience.
The Benga Lagoon is famously known for the Benga Lagoon Shark Dive, which is considered by many to be the best shark dive in the world. As this was our first time scuba diving, we were a little cautious and opted to do our coral dive instead, which was absolutely beautiful. As with our previous snorkeling, we were blown away by the underwater beauty during our dive. The marine biodiversity in Fiji is breathtaking, with sharks, turtles, beautiful corals, and tons of colorful fish. Scuba diving in the Benga Lagoon was an amazing experience and one of our favorite activities in Fiji. After our snorkel, we had lunch in Pacific Harbor and made our way back 50 minutes along the Coral Coast to the Maui Palms Beach and Pier. Maui Palms is a beautiful beach located in front of a large coral reef with a beautiful pier. We enjoyed our afternoon relaxing at the beach, soaking up all the sun and taking in the great views from the pier. If you're looking to do some more snorkeling, you can swim out a bit along the coral wall to find some great snorkeling. After a fun afternoon, we drove back to our hotel to pack up and get ready for the next part of our Fiji adventure.
We woke up the next morning and made our way back to Nadi International Airport to take a domestic plane to the island of Taveuni, otherwise known as the Garden Island. This teeny island is home to world-class marine life in the Rainbow Reef, incredible waterfalls, and thrilling natural water slides. While Taveuni is often overlooked compared to the more popular Yasawa Islands, we absolutely loved every minute we had on the island and would recommend it as one of the must-see places in Fiji. Our trip to Taveuni began with an hour-and-a-half plane ride on a 14-passenger propeller plane. There is no in-flight entertainment on this plane, but we certainly didn't mind as the views out the window were absolutely breathtaking.
We stayed at an Airbnb across the street from the airport called Valet Sokola. If it's available for your stay, we would highly recommend it as the views from the back porch are incredible.
For our first full day in Taveuni, we set out to experience some of the incredible marine life that we had heard all about. As Rachel and I are scuba certified, we chose to go scuba diving, but we have been told you can get a similar experience snorkeling at the Waitabu Nature Reserve, which is a protected coral reef just off the coast of Taveuni. We were told that Fiji is located on the meridian. Because of this, there are currents that provide the ideal environment for marine diversity. Our guide shared that Fiji has some of the most marine biodiversity in the whole world, along with a few other places like the Philippines and Indonesia. The scuba diving and snorkeling in Taveuni was absolutely incredible. For me personally, I think it was the best I have ever experienced.
After scuba diving, we headed straight to Tavoro Falls. Tavoro Falls, otherwise known as Buma Waterfalls, are a series of waterfalls along a hike by the town of Buma. We enjoyed walking through the jungle of Fiji and enjoying the magnificent waterfalls along the way. After breaking a sweat hiking, the easily accessible cliff jumping into the waterfalls is a perfect combo for an afternoon of fun and adventure.
So we made it to waterfall number 2, and unfortunately due to timing, we had to turn around. So we're headed back down. Sadly, we're not gonna be able to see waterfall number 3, but the first 2 were an awesome trip so far.
If you have the extra time, we would recommend bucketing 4 to 5 hours to have plenty of time to hike and swim without feeling rushed. We finished out our full day on Taveuni with the local Fijian barbecue and a beautiful sunset at Tremonto, which is one of the only non-resort restaurants on the island. Our first day was perfect, and we couldn't wait to see what the next day on this special island had in store.
We started our next day with a kayak ride out to some of the beautiful little islands right off the coast. Our Airbnb provided kayaks, which was perfect. Kayaking out to our own private island, snorkeling in the untouched reefs, and spending the morning relaxing on our own private beach turned out to be one of the highlights of our trip. I don't quite know if we could ever get tired of floating in the 87-degree water, looking at some of the most incredible fish and coral reefs in the world. After a morning in paradise, we set off for our last big adventure in Fiji, the Waitavala water slide. This waterfall, otherwise known as the Sliding Rocks, is a series of small waterfalls lined with smooth rocks that you can slide down on. Located just a quick 7-minute drive from the main city of Somosomo, we were pleasantly surprised at how accessible it was. Once we arrived, we immediately started to experience the fun-loving Fijian culture. We weren't really sure how to get started, but thankfully multiple locals came up to us and offered to show us how to slide down.
The locals were having so much fun enjoying the beautiful Saturday afternoon. It really was a treat to experience this and imagine what it might have been like to grow up on this small island.
What do you think?
Kind of hurts your bum, but it's fun. After our afternoon here, our time on this magical island came to an end. We both agreed that if we were to go back and do the same itinerary again, we would spend an extra day on Taveuni to really have enough time to soak up all the beauty.
Our trip to Fiji truly was incredible. Rachel and I enjoyed every minute of it. The happy, welcoming, and loving Fijians throughout the entire country brought smiles to our faces every day and left us questioning what we could do to be as happy as they are. While we don't quite know the secret, we are willing to bet that the beautiful beaches, incredible marine life, 87-degree crystal clear water, and countless ways to adventure and have fun is certainly part of that secret. Fiji truly is the perfect tropical getaway. We hope you have the opportunity to experience all that it has to offer for yourself. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching and we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, it would really help us out if you gave it a like and subscribed. We have tons of new travel content we're excited to show you. As always, we hope you have an amazing day.